Ah, what a day. And it can't help but put you in mind of the birds and the bees. And where does that lead all too often? To those three little words. Darling, I'm pregnant. Now, how you greet those words, with joy or with a little discomfort, is entirely down to your own personal circumstance. But one thing I can tell you for certain, you can wave goodbye to your little two-seater sports car or any hope of ever owning one. Welcome, my friend, to the world of the MPV. Clamber on board, and straight away, Ford have very much shunned the kind of fun French flavour you find in a lot of other MPVs, where they carpet the dash and then put the console in the centre. It's very sensible and sober in here. It's wearing a suit. But I would worry, if it were mine, that it might date rather quickly, particularly with this bit of walnut along here, and it's all rather sober and boring. But that is probably a nod from Ford towards the many business buyers for the Galaxy. Oh, well, I forgot to mention, you're going to have to start doing things like buying a diesel. Well, no, you don't have to have the diesel. It just so happens I've hopped into the 1.9 litre TDI, which is the diesel of the range, and very good it is too. Very strong with loads of low-range torque, as you'd expect. But you can have either of the two petrols, a 2.3 litre or a 2.8 litre V6. And if that engine is anything like as good in this one as it was in the old Galaxy, it should be quite a fiery little number for a big old bus. And here's the interesting bit. Because in each of those versions, even in this, the TDI, you can have a 6-speed gearbox. That's usually something you'd find in your little sports car, so perhaps it's something to keep you happy. And once you're in here, you can kid on you're in your little sports car. Might be a surprise in a diesel, but actually quite useful, because it does mean you can row it through the gears and keep it in that narrow power band. And in the petrol, obviously, there are advantages, because you can optimise the engine's efficiency and get maximum fuel economy. And believe me, all of a sudden, you're going to start thinking about things like fuel economy. You don't buy an MPV unless you have to, and if I really had to, well, I think I'd probably want something with a little more flair and innovation. But then trying to make an MPV exciting is rather like buying wellies to match your dinner suit. Pointless. And that's very much the message that they got when they put the car in front of a consumer clinic. They said they wanted conservative, they said they wanted nothing too striking and frightening, nothing too radical, and no big changes. So that's exactly what they got. Case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's it. It's been top of the pops for a long time, and it'll probably continue being top of the pops. Nothing to change there. Don't expect it to be exciting, that's all. You're not going to have the thrill of a lifetime. You've already had that. That's why you need an MPV.